In this video we are going to talk about 10 of the biggest heists in the history. We all have heard or even watched the most popular Netflix series Money Heist. The professor, a criminal mastermind, has devised a scheme to carry off the largest robbery in history, printing billions of euros at the Royal Mint of Spain. He recruits 8 people with specific skills and no stake in the outcome to assist him in carrying out the ambitious plan. We've all fantasized of pulling off the ideal robbery. That one flawless heist that nets more money in a single day than most people make in a lifetime. Criminal masterminds have a weird history of being idolized in this country. Fans who live vicariously through their daring exploits seem to adore even robbers who don't necessarily share their looted fortunes with the poor. The darker side of invention, which creates a balanced yin-yang of prosperity, evolves as technology and security improves, as does the criminal guile that attempts to fleece hidden treasures. History has shown us that no matter how large the trap, a cunning mouse will always try to escape with the cheese. Some of history's most famous robberies are listed below. Number 10. Millennium Dome Raid. The Millennium Dome Raid took place on November 7, 2000, in Greenwich, southeast London, and was an attempted heist of the Millennium Dome's diamond show. A gang of locals planned to ram the De Beers diamond show, which was taking place at the moment in the riverfront dome. After that, the gang planned to flee in a speedboat down the Thames. The Millennium Star, a flawless 203.04 carat, 40.608 grams, stone with an estimated value of £200 million and considered one of the most perfect gems in the world, was one of the jewels on display at the De Beers Diamond exhibition. A magnificent blue diamond was also on exhibit. The Metropolitan Police Service's flying squad prevented the planned heist after receiving intelligence from Kent Police Serious Crime, who had the gang members under observation for their alleged roles in many failed armored vehicle robberies. The robbery operation was the flying squad's largest in history, and the judge in the case praised the manner it was carried out throughout the trial. If the robbery had been successful, it would have been one of the largest robberies in history, with a haul of £350 million worth of diamonds. Number 9. The Great Oil Heist. Shell and ENI subsidiaries paid the Nigerian government $1.1 billion in 2011 for an offshore block with 9 billion barrels of estimated oil reserves. The government sent the exact same amount to Malibu Oil and Gas, an unknown shell business whose owner was Dan Atet. During his time as Nigeria's petroleum minister in 1998, Atet surreptitiously allocated the oil block to himself. The oil block was removed from Malibu Oil and Gas and awarded to Shell and ENI, who then paid the money to the Nigerian government, reportedly knowing that it would be delivered to Atet's business, after years of court fights. That $1.1 billion could have fully immunized every child under the age of 5 in the country. In Italy, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom, both Shell and ENI are under investigation for corruption. Number 8. The Collar Bomb Bank Robbery. Anyone who has seen 30 Minutes or less will recognize this one, but the true tale is even more terrible. A middle-aged pizza delivery man entered a bank in 2003, delivered the teller a note requesting the money in the vault, and then lowered his shirt to reveal a collar bomb around his neck and chest. He got away for about 15 minutes after snatching the money before being apprehended by state cops. He began yelling that he had been forced to commit the robbery and that the bomb was about to detonate. The police encircled the area and waited for the bomb disposal team to come, but the bomb began beeping and exploded before they arrived. With FBI investigators, a long paper trail of clues, and dead bodies stored in freezers, the story just gets crazier from there. If you appreciate true stories that are stranger than fiction, this is a must-read. Number 7. D.B. Cooper. D.B. Cooper, sometimes known as Dan Cooper, was a criminal who hijacked a commercial flight from Portland, Oregon, to Seattle, Washington, in 1971 and then parachuted off with the ransom money. A massive manhunt occurred, but the hijacker was never identified or apprehended, leaving one of America's biggest unsolved mysteries. The individual employed the identity Dan Cooper, but a reporter misheard the name as D.B. Cooper, which became extensively used in later news reports. A nondescript man in his mid-40s, roughly 6 feet tall, 1.83 meters, purchased a $20 ticket on Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 on November 24, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving. He gave the identity Dan Cooper, which was later revealed to be a ruse. He handed a note to a flight attendant shortly after departure from Portland, claiming to have a bomb in his briefcase. He then opened the attaché case, which contained a battery, multiple wires, and red sticks. Cooper demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bills, equivalent to around $1.2 million in today's money. Number 6. Antwerp Diamond Heist. The heist of the century occurred in 2003, when significant quantities of gold, diamonds, and jewelry were stolen from the Antwerp Diamond Center. The lost objects were thought to be worth more than $100 million, but there was more to the story. The robbery was coordinated by Leonardo Notarbartolo, who had lived near the Diamond Center for 3 years prior to the crime. Leonardo pretended to be an Italian diamond merchant as part of his cunning ploy to earn trust at the center. More than 123 of the 160 safe deposit boxes, each of which was made of steel and had a unique key combination lock, were forced open. Leonardo was apprehended, but his entire gang escaped. Years later, he claimed in an interview with Wired magazine that the whole event was an attempt at insurance fraud by a diamond trader who hired him. According to reports, the actual score was closer to $20 million, with the insurance company bearing the brunt of the loss. Number 5. The Great Train Robbery of 1963. The Great Train Robbery occurred in the early hours of August 8, 1963, at Bridego Railway Bridge, Ledburn, near Mentmore in Buckinghamshire, England, when a Royal Mail train travelling from Glasgow to London on the West Coast Main Line was robbed of £2.6 million. A gang of 15, led by Bruce Reynolds, stormed the train after tampering with the lineside signals to bring it to a halt. Gordon Goody, Buster Edwards, Charlie Wilson, Roy James, John Daly, Jimmy White, Ronnie Biggs, Tommy Wisby, Jim Hussey, Bob Welch, and Roger Corddry were among the gang's other members, as were 3 men identified only as 1, 2, and 3, 2 of whom were later identified as Harry Smith and Danny Pembroke. An unidentified 16th man, a retired train driver, was also present. The robbers escaped with about £2.6 million, equivalent to £55 million in 2019, after careful preparation based on inside knowledge from an individual known as the Ulsterman, described, perhaps incorrectly, as Patrick McKenna in 2014. Number 4. Saddam Hussein steals $1 billion from the Iraq Central Bank in 2003. Saddam Hussein pulled off the greatest bank robbery in history by having his son steal $1 billion from the Iraqi National Bank just before the United States waged war on Iraq, launching the Second Gulf War. Saddam Hussein ordered his son to take roughly $1 billion in cash from the Iraqi Central Bank just hours before the first bombs fell on Baghdad, the U.S. has said, the BBC headline read. Officials in the United States claim they have no idea where the money is currently, but a spokesman for George W. Bush said it should come as no surprise that Iraqi leaders would try to flee the nation with their ill-gotten treasure. The withdrawal of the funds would be one of the largest bank robberies in history, according to the New York Times, but since Saddam Hussein was almost an absolute ruler, the move might not have breached any laws. Saddam's robbery of the bank, ironically, may not have officially broken any Iraqi laws because he was a dictator. Number 3. The United California Bank Heist. Emil Dinzio, an Ohio professional criminal, gathered a team of 6 thieves and flew them to California in 1972. They rented a townhouse and plotted a bank robbery after hearing, mistakenly, that President Richard Nixon maintained a multi-million-dollar slush fund there. After methodically washing down the townhouse, the group dynamited their way into the vault, grabbed $30 million in cash and valuables, and fled. The burglars were finally identified thanks to a significant tip supplied to a taxi driver and fingerprints recovered on the inside of the townhome's dishwasher. Number 2. The Great Mining Robbery. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, anonymous shell corporations bought mines for a fraction of their true value and then resold them for full price, siphoning off money that should have gone to the government. Only 5 of these partnerships cost the DRC at least $1.36 billion in revenue between 2010 and 2012. In 2012, that sum was nearly double the country's total yearly health and education budgets. The Democratic Republic of the Congo ranks worst in the United Nations Human Development Index, with some of the world's worst malnutrition, the world's 6th highest child death rate, and almost 7 million children out of school. Number 1. The Pink Panthers. The Pink Panthers gang, responsible for a spate of the most daring heists in history, outdid themselves when 4 men masquerading as women raided Harry Winston's luxury jewelry store in Paris. They broke display cases and escaped with an estimated £85 million in diamonds after crowding clients and employees into a corner. In 2013, a lone robber wearing a baseball cap and a scarf over his face stormed into a levy of Diamond House display at the Carlton Hotel in Cannes and made off with probably the greatest single jewelry theft of all time, valued at £110 million. The Pink Panthers were suspected of being involved in the robbery once more. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.